Hey, seventh graders, welcome to part C. This packet is focusing on decimal multiplication, and it's time to look at some word problems that involve decimal multiplication. Some terms that show up not just on the state test, but in real life, have to do with businesses trying to make some money. And the terms that are important on this page are total cost, total revenue, and profit. So let's kind of go through this with a word problem. Adderley decides to make cookies and then sell them at a school bake sale. It costs her 50 cents to buy flour, eggs, and butter for each cookie. What will be her total cost to make 12 cookies? Thanks, Jada. All right, so before she can even sell the cookies, she has to spend money to buy the supplies and make them. So this problem tells us that it's 50 cents. It costs 50 cents for Adderley to make each cookie, and she's going to make a total of 12 cookies. So what we need to do here is we need to do 12 times 50 cents. I see this problem, and you could totally do it that way, but I actually think this would be faster. So we got money, we got cookies, we got one cookie is about 50 cents to make. That would mean that 2 cookies would be $1. And to get from there to 12 cookies, I just got to multiply by 6. And $1 times 6 is going to give us $6. So Adderley's total cost is $6. Say hi, Miguel.
Hi.
All right, so this problem continues, but basically we know one thing now. For Adderley to make her 12 cookies, it's going to cost her $6. So that's her total cost. But now we're going to figure out something called her total revenue. Basically revenue is the amount of money that people pay Adderley when they buy her cookies. She doesn't get to keep all of that money because she has this $6. That's her cost. But let's figure out how much money people pay Adderley. So at Adderley's bake sale, she charges $1.50 per cookie, right? It only costs her 50 cents to make the cookies, and then she's overcharging, so she makes a profit. So she's charging $1.50, and then she sells all 12 of her cookies. Let's figure out how much her revenue would be. So there's 2 ways to do this. You could do $1.50 times 12, and you can multiply it out this way. Because we're practicing decimal multiplication, I'm just going to do it this way, but you could also use a ratio table. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 1 is 2, plus the 1 equals 3. And now I'm going to move over to the 1, or the 10 right here. Remember that you have to just start off by getting rid of this place value. And now we can do 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. And if we add all that together, we find out we have 1800. But now we have 2 numbers after the decimal place. So I'm going to move this over 2 spots. And I get $18. So that means that Adderley's total revenue, or the amount of money that people give her for all of her cookies, is $18. So now we know 2 things. How much money Adderley gets when she sells all the cookies, and how much money Adderley had to spend to make those cookies. So the next logical thing to figure out when you're running a business, like Adderley's trying to do, is how much money Adderley makes. That's called her total profit. So if her revenue was $18 and her total cost to make the cookies was $6, to find the profit, you just subtract the revenue minus the cost. And when you do that, you find out that Adderley made a profit, hello, of $12. And that $12 she gets to keep. That's what she has left over after she pays off all of her costs to make the cookies. So that's a basic profit problem with decimals. This next one's a little bit more complex, but it's still the same idea. So now we have Jada, who earlier was making fun of me for making this video. I should change this name. Jada is making cell phone cases and selling them to students at school. So basically cases for their iPhones, for their Androids, and she's a good artist, so it makes sense that she would do this. For each case, she uses 5 cubic centimeters of material that costs 25 cents per cubic centimeter. That is a little confusing, and I use that because that's state test language. But let's make sense of it. It's almost like Jada is buying a material, and this material she's going to cut up and decorate and use to make her actual cell phone cases. So maybe this is 1 cubic centimeter of the material, like this nice material she wants to put on the phone, and it costs 25 cents per cubic centimeter. But this little amount isn't enough for the phone. She needs 5 cubic centimeters. She needs 5 of these. So that's a long way of saying, to figure out how much the material is going to cost per phone, you have to do 25 cents times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Bring up the 2. 5 times 2 is 10, 11, 12. Bring over the decimal place 2 places. And so it looks like Jada's total cost for material to make her case for 1 phone is $1.25, which is like 5 quarters. Okay, so that's helpful. So we know that it's $1.25. That's the cost. You know what? I should actually use red. In business, a lot of time red is what you use for your costs, because that's money you have to pay. If Jada makes 4 cases, what would be her total cost? Well, it cost her $1.25 to make a case, and now she wants to make 4 of them. So we just need to multiply that out. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 2 is 8, 9, 10. 4 times 1 is 4, plus the 1 is 5. Move the decimal place over 2 spots. That makes sense. If it's $1.25 to make each phone and she makes 4 cases, her total cost is going to be $5. Alright, so now we got the first part. We got her cost. Next is where we figure out her revenue. So Jada's going to pick a price. She picked $2.50 because that's more than how much each phone case costs to make. And then she sells all 4 of them at $2.50. So let's figure out her revenue, or the money she gets to keep. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 5 is 20. So we bring up the 2. 4 times 2 is 8, 9, 10. And move the decimal place over 2 spots. It looks like her total revenue is going to be $10. Alright, so now at the end of the day, Jada has spent money to buy the case materials, but then she has this revenue. So to find her total profit, all we have to do is take Jada's revenue, and we have to subtract for total cost. We got Gabby and Crystal causing problems. No, so Jada made $10 in revenue, and then we're going to subtract the $5 it cost her to make all those phones, and so she ends up with a total profit of $5. And that's $5 that she gets to keep. Sweet. Okay, need some sort of secret word. I wish I had some students that could help me think of a good secret word.
Scrabby!
Okay. First name that came to Gabby's head was Scrappy. Is that BBY or BBIE?
BBY.
Hashtag. Huh? All right. I'll see you guys for the last page, part D.